Take two, guys. Take two. Last time did not go too well, but we have quite a few products to go over in this live. We are going to be sure to follow all of the guidelines to a T. Don't want to have anything happening again. Let's see if we can get someone to jump in. But as you can see, we have quite a few products for the 2A community that we can go over and look at. And we're going to be taking a look, hopefully doing this one last. This one is a battle box, which is supposed to have over $100 worth of quality gear inside of it. So looking forward to this, or maybe it's $200 and it costs like $100 or something. We have this case here. This is going to be from condition 1. Pretty good. A little guy there. Glory Fire, Quick Strike, Stopbox Pro, Shell Shock. These are going to be like headphones for going to the range. Got some battle belts. Got some stuff from Tactical here. So should be good. Last time we did get in trouble and they cut off the stream because we did have apparently we touched something we shouldn't have in the stream, which was really really annoying. It was the middle of the stream and they just cut us off and took us offline. I appealed. They didn't let the video stay up, but they did give me back my live stream ability. For a day or two, I wasn't able to live stream, but I was able to fight that, get that back, and yeah. We have quite a few products we're going to be getting to today. While we wait. Get some fair life while we wait on a few guys to jump in. Can't beat the macros on this stuff right here. Only 140 calories, quite a bit of protein. Fits great. So yeah, guys, we got quite a bit of products here. This is some tactical gear that you could wear, everyday like clothing, like shorts, and you could wear this with, have your everyday carry. Of course, we got like a core essentials belt here. This is the exciting thing right here. We got the battle box. Now this is supposed to have like $200 worth of items in it. They go for $100. They sent that out to us. So this is what I'm excited to see if this is actually worth spending money on. I'm always skeptical. Should I spend my good hard money on a subscription box? And to be completely honest, I'm not sure if I would use it as a subscription, but maybe get it every, 1 or 2 times a year. See if there's anything worthwhile in those battle boxes. They have smaller, they have bigger, but it's supposed to be a lot of really good gear here. This is a condition 1 case, one of the better cases on the market. We're going to open that up, see if it's any good. We have some cheaper cases here. We got a Quick Strike here we'll look at. That is a Stopbox Pro. If you're into 2A at all, you've seen 1,000 of their ads because they're constantly pushing these ads pretty much anywhere. What's your take on what's going on with the SIG P320? Well, I could tell you this. I'm in a lot of trading groups, and they are not selling well. I saw a guy post 2. It's been up for over 2 months. He's not getting any bites on that 320. They're nice. He has two nice setups, but you know they just lost the trust of a lot of people in the market. So you know you get what you pay for. Those were great guns, but yeah, unfortunately they're losing. No 37. Nope. We could look at a few. Yeah, we got quite a few in here, so we're gonna start doing some unboxing. Um, yep. Uh, praise the Lord. Right here we have. This is going to be the olight flashlight, and it's their tactical version. This thing is a beast. How's it going, guys? Nicholas Hill said hi. How's it going, man? We're gonna be taking a look at another olight, which is supposed to be like an everyday carry as well. So we're going to be opening this guy up. They have this right here, which I believe is just the case for that. Oh no, the case, yeah, the case for this one, that makes more sense. This is supposed to be a sort of a different brand, probably a little less known. They reached out and sent me this. We have this gun box, which I'm excited, haven't even looked at it yet. It's one of those where it like comes out. These are really popular on like TikTok. Right here we have a laser system. Both of these are laser systems. I'm not sure if y'all have heard of Mantis, but they are great. This is a great way to get some training in without spending a bunch of money. I'm probably gonna have to set up a pod so I can actually do these unboxings. But you can get it to fit whatever gun you have. You can see I have a variety here. Typically go with 9mm, and there'll be a little laser. It looks just like this right here. You put that in there, and whenever you shoot, it's gonna have a little laser. I'm not sure if you can see that. It's gonna have a laser. That's gonna mark. They're gonna track that on an app and be able to trace everything you do. So that's pretty awesome. And then they have a system very similar if you have an AR platform that you can train inside your house as well, save you some ammo. So for this one, what you're gonna do is replace your bolt carrier here, and then this is actually going to be a battery pack. Make sure this is completely charged. Put that inside, and then it's also gonna just discharge a laser. And then from that laser, you're going to be able to track it on the app and see exactly where you're hitting. So you could practice this in your house as well. So that's the Mantis system. These guys really support the 2A community. They're really out there. Core Essentials. If you ever looking for an EDC, these guys were also very pro 2A. Love them. Hey, Steven, how's it going? You can see these right here. Great EDCs. They hold up very well to pretty much any weight. And let me go ahead and set y'all up on a tripod so we can start doing some unboxings. I'm going to go ahead use this one over here. I'm just going to set y'all down for a second. We're about to get y'all on a tripod so y'all don't have to be moving here. All right. So, and then I'm going to go ahead and pull up YouTube and watch my own live so I can get y'all's comments. So we're going to put y'all in the stand here. We're going to zoom way in. What do y'all think about that angle right there? Is that... Zoom out a little bit maybe here. And then I'll try to show everything from that direction. And then just so I can see your comments, I'm just going to pull up my own live. Just so I can see what y'all are saying. And I'll mute it so I don't have to to hear myself. Okay, let's see. It's been doing okay. That's the quick strike. It's over here. I'm just going over quite a few products right now, just to sort of show, what's going on in the market. And I think the first box I'm going to open is going to be this right here. These are going to be some ears sent to me from Shell Shock Protection. So these look like, come in a nice little case here. We're going to see what comes in this, what that looks like there, and I just zipped it up. So inside, we're going to have a nice compact piece right here. Of course, whenever we want to actually use these, we're going to maneuver them around. But you have LED spot right here, so you can go up and down. You can hear a nice click right there. A hi from the Philippines. We no sales on lives, guys. This is just showing some products. We're not touching any guns. Last time we got our live stream kicked off, so we're trying to avoid that hardcore. So, but here you can see the padding on this is sort of what makes it different. It sort of feels almost like a waterbed, like a really soft material there. So I really like that. Looks like you put in, so you have some cord adapters here, and came with this little clip and two batteries. So 2 batteries to power this right here. They do give you Energizer, so they're at least giving you some good batteries with this. Those should last. I like Duracell a little bit more myself. Put on a lot closer and frame right. We do have a thing here. I believe it's a fingerprint as well, a fingerprint release. We could unbox that next if you want. It's a fingerprint release gun box. So right here was just some ears. I personally like ears a lot. All right. So that was from Shell Shock, good company there. Let's go ahead and take a look at this right here. It's called Hawkhonor, and it's going to be another gun safe. Oh, that is a big old boy. That was heavy. Let's see. I took it out of the box already, so the unboxing's a little off. But this right here is on Amazon, I believe. If you wanted to check them out, they wanted to send this over for us to look at, and I wanted the first thing to be on a live stream. So here's the actual box itself, and let's see, what do we got on the side? On the side we got 2 different keys and some mounting screws. If we wanted to put this on a wall, we could put that straight on there. So this right here we have is the Hawkhonor. Pretty cool. And yeah, this, it looks like where you would mount it. It has a nice little mounting case. So you would be able to either put it on something here, or you have this top spot where you can mount it onto something. So you got either option there. Hawkhonor. Let's look at the top. You can see there's going to be a 1, 2, 3, 4. I believe that is a thumbprint. So you are going to have the thumbprint option, and you have a code option. And if you don't like either one of those, you have the key option. So 3 ways to get into the safe. 1 with the key, 1 with a thumbprint, and then 1 with a keypad. I personally prefer, out of the ones, a thumbprint, set up a thumbprint. Most of those you could set up to 20 thumbprints, something like that. But that looks pretty solid. I am, first time looking at it, I'm trying to figure out exactly Okay. On the back, this is if you wanted to hook it up with batteries. We got 4 batteries, and they did not give us batteries. So that is one slight knock. I like it when, you know, companies give you the tools to use the product in-house, or, you know, out of box would be nice. And I may be dumb, but, okay, I was dumb. I was looking for a spot to use a key. It's going to be at the very bottom if you have to use a key. So we're going to do that. We got a key right here, and we're going to place that in. All right, I felt a release. So with the release right there. All right. Here we go. Releases just like that. So I'm gonna put it back here. Whenever you like put the thumbprint, release the thumbprint, opens up just like that. Same thing, put in the code. Code opens just like that. Or worst case scenario, you have to use the actual key, spin it, it's gonna open just like that. Looks like we have a little bit of foam right here and right here. So I'm assuming they would have it. That's where you would place your safety device that you were using and set that there, which seems not bad, honestly. This is very hefty, maybe almost too hefty. It may be slightly like too heavy, but if you're just mounting this somewhere, like somewhere around the house, say like right next to the bed, right next to, you know, what your door or something like that, not bad. I gonna have to put batteries in it to fully test that, which is a little bit annoying that they didn't give us the batteries. Don't know how long the batteries would last in the system before you need to replace it. You do have the key just in case. Don't love that aspect, but don't hate this thing. So far, it seems like a pretty decent buy for the price, but we'll go ahead and look at some more and see what y'all think. Does it have a port for a cable? All I'm seeing on this is all just battery. I would love a USB-C. A USB-C would be awesome. So you could just charge that up. There's a lock at the bottom. If you don't have any batteries, you could use it with just this. Wouldn't recommend using just the key. But once you get the finger lock, yeah, I forgot what the price was. AA, do you remember what the price was for that? We'll see if he can tell us that. I'm going to put that here for a second. Hopefully that won't fall. We're going to put that to the side. And we're going to go to the next thing. Now, same from Amazon. Another option to store would be something like this, which ironically does have a spot to charge it, but is dead. So a little bit of a side piece. You have the 2 latches. You undo those. Boom. And you have that option there. Put something in, close it up, and then you hit this lock button. It's going to lock it up, and you can do a combination like 1, 2, 3, 4. Mix it up there. Again, if you wanted to charge it, there is a spot at the bottom. Charge this entire box up with this seal and these right here. Lock those down. That is going to make this water resistant, not waterproof. So should be able to take a little bit of water. I want to go swimming with it, but is considered water resistant. And then, yeah, really not too much real estate on the inside. You can see my hand, relatively big hand, but that's going inside. That thing has to be charged in order to function. This thing needs to be charged, but there's also, like, most of them have an emergency spot where you can charge them up, or you could use a emergency key to get in there. It's just no joke. Best chocolate milk ever. Oh yeah, Highland, or not Highland. My bad. I used to be a Highland guy, but the Fairlife. Yeah, that's the stuff right there. There we go. Yeah, I'll represent those guys too. Those guys, great products, great macros. I love them. If you are going to get just a box to keep around the house, the most popular one that I've seen is this right here. This is the stopbox. No batteries, no electronics, and that was sort of the flaw with the last two that we looked at. They took electronics, which is okay to some, but this right here, you just press down, and then you have any combination that you want here, up to I think 81 combinations. Press down here. I have it set to thumb, this finger, skip one, next finger, which is how it comes factory. Open up, and you have plenty of space in here. You could put an extra mag, you could put a flashlight, a knife, a little bit right there as well. This is a really good option, made in the USA. Looks cheap, but I promise you, I've done some durability tests to these. I've beat them up, beat them with hammers. I've tried to pry in. You can't, it looks like that's going to give. You can't pry into it. But it's a good product. This, I 100% do give my green flag of approval. One of the best things. I don't have an affiliate code with these guys even. They did send it out to me, but I don't make any money. This is just me saying good product, especially if you have kids around the house. You want to have quick access to your things. Kid's not going to be able to get into that, but within a second, you're able to get in. Great recommendation. Full approval there. And while we're talking about boxes, we can't talk about boxes without talking about this guy. I'm going to zoom in just a little bit because everything looks like it's distant. So we're going to go here, turn it there. I think that's a little better. All right. So this is called the Quick Strike. You would put this part where your seat is in your car right under here. And then your console to your car would be right here. So it's all right here. You pull the actuator towards you, and then this is going to be able to go down. And so you go down there, close that there, and oh boy. Yeah, we have a little bit of everything here. So this one goes down. This is spring loaded. There is a lock at the top if you don't want that to come up, where you can lock that up. But I do go hunting, 30-06, do some whitetail hunting up in Arkansas, typically in the Ozarks. So yeah, looking forward to some hunting season soon. You would hit this with your leg, so that would pop up. You'd be able to grab this and then have your safety item as soon as you needed it. When you get in your car, you would put your safety item in. Once your safety item is in, you would lower that, go down, safety item's in place. And then when you need to use said safety item, you use it. And that pops up. Oh, bear and moose hunting. That's awesome, dude. And so that's the Quick Strike. I have tons of videos on my channel about this if you ever wanted to check them out. Be sure to drop a like, guys, and subscribe. We're about to start opening up some more boxes, so let's see what we can do. Once we get to 100 people in this live, if we can get there, we'll go ahead and open up the battle box. That's going to be the big one. That's going to be everything that has, a lot of different gear. Sort of the mystery box. We don't know what's in here. It's something different every time. So as soon as we get to 100 people, we'll open that one. But until then, we'll keep driving, and we'll see what we can get into. This is the next biggest one. It is also a box. We're going to try to open it without a knife because for some reason my last live stopped and I held a knife. So I'm thinking that could have been part of it. I'm not sure what it was, but we're just going to break into this like a savage, which is fine with me. I'm a big fan of things coming in black. Just most of my gear is black. So let's see. Throw that to the side. That is a beefy box. Man. Made in the USA. Always love to hear that. USA made. We're going to see condition 1 case 801. So we got on the side 1 latch, 2 latch, and that maybe a spot to put a lock right there. Pretty durable handle. Like that. Box sounds good. These are supposed to have a lifetime warranty. You're supposed to be able to run them over, hit them with the truck. They're supposed to be the real deal. So a lot of people use these to carry things to the range and back. And, oh yeah, that's nice. Inside, they just give you your condition 1. Looks like just little literature there. Goes over, oh, well, I can show y'all some of that. It's going to be like a bedtime story for you. Condition 1. Next page, you can see some of their storage options here. Different latches. Different ones with foam inserts. Of course, you know, built in the USA. Different size boxes. You know, you can put your camera gear in here. Trust it for, you know, camera and all that. Hey, yeah, you know, my Instagram name is probably the best way to go on Meta. But it's the same name except for it says YouTube on it. It should be Zach Hollenball YouTube. Getting into some bigger cases. You see that? That looks like waterproof, which is nice for outdoors. Again, getting into some, those look like ice chests. That's awesome. That's freaking big. Okay, there's a good picture of what you're getting into. You can get as big as you really want with these cases. Have some lifetime storage. Of course, used a lot for 2A. And if you're going hunting, nice to have a box that could withstand the elements. These look like good hunting boxes there. That looks like a good, I mean, they all look like good boxes. Different inserts for the boxes. And then, yeah, I love that. That's awesome. But if you can see in the box, you got foam at the top, and then you have option 1, 2, and 3. So I could put 1 bang bang stick, 2 bang bang stick, 3 bang bang stick, have my EDCs, things that I like to go to the range and shoot. Those could all be right here. Magazine, 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 magazine. And what I would probably do is, we looked at these earlier. These are some ears that you could put on at the range. Really comfortable from Shell Shock. Probably throw that in there. Probably 1 or 2 boxes of ammo. And yeah. Okay, we did get to 100, so we have to open the battle box. Guys, this is why you came to the video. This is what we want to see. We got to see what's in this box. These are different every time. We'll come back and look at this a little bit later. But for now, let's go to that battle box, guys. Good call out in the comments for letting me know we've reached that. So we got a few more packages after, of course. But we have the battle box just so they don't get onto us for using a knife or something. We have this here, which is going to be fine, I believe. But I'm excited. This is actually my first battle box. They've looked cool. I've watched their ads. They've had a lot of cool ads, a lot of cool gear in those ads, but I've never had one. I reached out to them about 2 weeks ago, and yeah. Hey, how's it going, Tactical? Nice to see you in here. We were about to open up the battle box. Here we go. Alright. So we have the protection here. Now let's see if this was worth, in the comments let me know if y'all think this is worth 110 bucks. We're going to go through all of it real quick. Let's see. Battle box. Alright, that's just a little pamphlet. First thing in the battle box that we're gonna get is the battle box 30-liter dry bag. Let's open this up. See what this, well, it's a dry bag. We know what it is. See what this looks like. See what the quality feels like from the battle box bag here. Okay, that's a big bag. You do also have this here. This is going to be the strap, but just the bag itself, really big bag. And how these work is you would put everything you would need into the bag. So just for an example, I'm going to take this Fairlife chocolate milk and I'm going to put that at the bottom of this bag. Now, to make sure that nothing gets into this bag, I would wrap that up a few times. We'll say, you don't want that to be a little bit tighter. And then I would bend this over itself and snap it in place. So now that chocolate milk is going to stay nice and dry because this has been folded over and clipped. Nothing's getting into this bag. I folded it a little bit more than it should have. I could probably got away with like just 3 folds. But that's a dry bag. And dry bags are very useful. I go kayaking a lot. I guess I used to go kayaking a lot. We had the chocolate milk in there, guys. And, that's not bad. That's a decent first open of this box. What else did we get in here? A bag of some sort. The Battle Box Pack Out Roll. Alright. So, this may be more of a Battle Box intro kit. Because, this seems to be a lot of Battle Box branding here. So this may just be Battle Box intro. But this right here looks like you have a lot of organization. You can put different things all in here. Organize that the way you'd like it. And then once it's all nice and packed up, you would roll it all back up and then have it clip there. And then clip there. And yeah, have a nice MOLLE panel on the back. Nice and tactile there. So they call that the Pack Out Roll. I can see that being handy here and there. Alright, let's see what this is from. This is from Dango. And I see there's a clip there, some paracord. I'm assuming with this you have just the regular type clip here. And some paracord if you ever need it. It looks like that may come out to be it may not come out. Does that come out? I will look into that more to see if that comes out. I'm blanking there. Not positive if this comes out, but we're gonna put that back in the case for now. Actually, we'll leave it out. And a look at this right here. This is a EOD Robotics Inc. Interesting. Now, it's made of titanium. Someone in the chat tell me what this is used for. Because I do not fully know. How's it going? Desert? Okay, Desert, tell me what this is used for. Because I fully do not know what this is. They sent it to us. But what is it? Like, what is this used for? This is a shaver? That's not sharp at all. Like, this isn't a blade. This is just The company, it says EOD Robotics Inc. And it says titanium, and then it says cage 5VKB6. Like I genuinely do not know what this is. No idea. That is interesting. We'll come back to this because I'm also confused what that is. And we have the blowfish. This is the last thing inside this box. Has the cordless inflator, waterproof, shockproof, dustproof. Okay. And that is exactly what that is. You can see you have everything you need on the side to blow things up and then to charge the box. That's relatively self-explanatory. Okay, the name of that again is going to be the EOD Robotics Inc. And then it says next line titanium, next line cage 5VKB6. Looked at the company and nothing. Okay, well that was, I don't know. I was honestly expecting a little bit more from the battle box. That was a little anticlimactic to me. This is the blowfish. You know, looks like a typical micro pump there. I'll test that out in another video. But honestly, guys, I had really high hopes for this battle box. Just seemed to be okay. Yeah. I don't know. It looks like they were supposed to throw in a knife in the box, and there wasn't a knife in the box. Wow. Wow. Okay. Oh, it's in here. It's literally just supposed to be a pry, pound, pop, or punch through. It's the bar. It's literally just a utility bar. That is, interesting. They have a picture of a decent looking knife in this one, and a knife did not come in this box. Would have been interesting to see. Well, if that may have just been what they sent over, just for me to check out some stuff from their company. If it was one of their mystery boxes, sort of a bust there in my personal opinion. Hate to be that guy. All right, let's go. Oh. Whoops. Let's go back real quick. Go over a few more things. All right, here I believe this is from Arrowhead Tactical. They do like EDC athletic wear. So let's open this up, see if it's worth their advertising. They also have quite a bit of ads going on. So it looks like it could be in two parts. Okay, the enhanced rapid clasp belt. So you have the belt there. And then here we have, all right, a pair of shorts. Yeah, we got the Fairlife, guys. Gotta hit that protein intake. Delicious. But yeah, quality wise, these feel pretty comfortable. Looks like they have these, zipper back pocket. On the front here, you got two typical pockets. Nothing out of the ordinary out of this pair of shorts, except for, you can see right here, it has linings on the inside where you can put this, which is the EDC belt. And then once you have that belt in there, people don't know. Once you have this belt in there, that's going to be all underneath these shorts. So you have an everyday carry style belt. You could have that really tight, and that's going to be on you. So you have a pair of shorts on, but you still have a belt on. So that looks pretty good. That looks practical. They're a little expensive, I will say that. Their website, there is options out there that may be a little bit cheaper than buying, a pair of shorts for each one of these. A pair of shorts, a pair of pants, to have all of your athletic wear being able to actually carry. You may not carry that much whenever you're using athletic wear, so that may not be a big deal. But the quality feels pretty good. In a video pretty soon, we'll put these on, see how they actually work. If I can run around and, jump around in some shorts with my gun. But for now, we're going to put this to the side as well. Not too shabby. Let's grab something else here. All right. Now, we have this flashlight. It is the XT2CR Pro. This is a tactical extreme output flashlight. Let's see. We're going to move this as well. I'm just going to move it right here. We're going to see if this lives up to the hype. Decent boxing. Open it up. Has a nice little bag there. And I'm assuming this is going to be the charging cords. Typically have those on the side. Yeah. Big old cord here. It is USB-C, which is good. A lot of things have moved to C. If you're still using the micro USB, you're out of touch as a company, and you shouldn't be doing that. Really pisses me off. So glad to see they put a USB-C, and yeah, a nice case. Looks like they have a spot for the belt loop, along with a little latch here if you wanted to attach it to something. And not exactly positive how to pronounce that, so we're not going to. Oh, decent feel. So this is the guy right here. And then open for USB. Okay. So there's a spot to open for USB. I just clipped my nails. So this is going to be almost impossible for me. There it is. So to charge it, you have a USB option. That's always nice. That's USB-C. So you can charge it right there. I don't love that you have to peel it open. I know one of my personal flashlights that I have right here, conveniently enough, you actually twist the bottom. And when you twist the bottom, the USB-C is right there. So, and then you can twist it back, flashlight, twist it out, charge it up. I like that design a little bit better in that aspect. This one is from, I believe I got it at Academy back in the day. I like flashlights you can charge up, though, with the USB-C. So I do like that aspect quite a lot there. All right, that was just the first click to see if they gave it to us charged. And either I'm stupid or this thing is not charged. There's a good chance I'm just stupid. So we'll see if there's something blocking the battery. Yep, looky there. I'm just stupid. They have this blocking the battery, so that's not going to drain it. Another thing, I actually do like that. So it's not just sitting there draining power. It's not connected yet. So now we should be able to twist that back on. Okay. Yep. So I'm going to turn the light off real quick on this. I still have my backup light over there. But that is pretty good. I know you can't fully appreciate the the light here on a small scale, but I'm putting that into the other room over there, and that's putting out some really good light. For a flashlight this small, it's keeping a consistent amount of lumens. Like, I don't know. Sort of wish the USB charging port was a little bit different, but besides that, that's a pretty nice flashlight. And I think they also had a little, the AH3 secure rapid detachment that comes with it. So we'll open that really quick as well, show you what that sort of looks like. That's all that's in there. Alright. And exactly what we thought. This is just a spot to put the flashlight. So we'll put that there. And then, does it go that way or does it go like that? I guess you can put it either way. But that looks right to me. Clip that on your belt and have a quick release for your flashlight. Not bad. I prefer, honestly, just to have it in the bag. Bag's a little bit cleaner, looks a little bit nicer to me. But we'll be done looking at this right here. I'm gonna put all this to the side. We'll take one other quick look at this belt here. This is from Core Essentials. There's a detach right there. So you pull that, and then you're able to pull the belt out. And what's cool about this belt, very rigid, but it has these micro adjustments here. So once you're going to put your belt on, you just put it in here, and as that goes in, it's ratcheting it down. So once it hits that one ratchet, it's stuck into place. And then you hit it one more, that's stuck into place. Hit it again, that's stuck into place. That's really firm. That's going to hold a, EDC very well. Great made product. They sent this over a while back. If I ever do, have a belt system like this, this is the belt I would recommend. Just the Core Essentials. They have a lot of options, but this one's one of their more popular options there. One more quick look at this Condition 1 case. Made in the USA. Very solid. Awesome latches. Really cool handle. Like all of that. We have the shell shock in here as well. Spot for 1, 2, 3 bang bang sticks, along with 6 of those magazines. So that's really cool that that's all included. And this looks like you could take this out and put a different, foam fill in there. So if you wanted to have that and make it more personalized, you can. I like this, how it's set up here. This is how I'm going to use it for now. I'm probably going to get one that has more spots. So one that's a little bit bigger and can hold maybe a few more things that I have on the wall. So that's not bad. All right, let's see what we still have up here. We have a few. Olight. Olight has been impressive to me. I have some of their other flashlights. This was the big boy that they sent me, and it is a powerful light. Even with my lights on, you can see that lighting up the room. So that's pretty cool. But let's see what this is. So Rethink Light, Reimagine Style. So they're trying to get stylish on us. Nice little box. Maybe too nice of a box. How do I open this box? Oh, here's a little tab. Right there. We'll pull the tab. That comes up. Now we're cooking. Nothing in the box. On the back side, yep, we have our charging. Looks like it could just set down. USB for the charging port. See if there's anything important in here. An olight card. Interesting. Not sure exactly what that is. Alright, shine in some different lights to see a secret message. That's sort of cool. But this is the olight itself. And that honestly is pretty sleek. I'm not gonna lie. It's a nice metal frame. You know, it looks sort of like that was gonna be plastic. This little switch system right here feels really good to move around. Yeah. Take this off, and we'll have the two little lights there. Charge before use. So it does want us to charge this up before we use it. But unfortunately, we're going to just use it. Well, I may have to take this. It looks like there's a spot right here also to charge. This looks and feels really nice. It's called the Arc Pro. I really like the look of this. I may have to take off those two screws just to take off the battery release. Let's see, that's a UV, regular light, or low beam and high beam. That's cool. I like that. We will get to some of those things on the bottom row after we do a little bit more unboxing. We're almost done with the unboxing, guys. The speed loader right here, that's it's like Upula or something like that. So basically, just like any of the other ones, you would press down, push down, drop one in, go up, release, press, push, put one in, release. Love these things. Again, this one's not sponsored or anything, just a product that I would endorse without, you know, getting paid. We've went over these. Again, this is my favorite. This is a company I work with, so I'm biased for sure on this one. Quick strike. Put this in your car. Have it right here. Push this down. Let that hit. Ever need your side? That just pops up. So that's really quick. A lot of videos on my channel about that right there. Some things we just got in today. Well, we have this massive guy here. It's not charged, or it needs batteries. It needs like four batteries. We don't have those. So, we do have the keys if I haven't lost them already. You have a key at the very bottom. Open it, and it opens it up. So, from here, release. That's how it opens up. You have a thumbprint at the top that could release it, a key at the bottom, or a code system. So you could choose whatever you want to do there. I would have it set up as a fingerprint. I don't know how many fingerprints you could set up on this model. This was from Amazon. Seemed like a cool little guy, but I need to do a little bit more testing before I could fully recommend it. I don't want to recommend things I haven't tested. This is more of just an unboxing. Real quick, let me show you these two last things. I'll show them this one off briefly. This is Mantis. This lets you train with your AR inside your house. Really cool. You would take out your bolt carrier, put this right here, and then all you have to do after that, take out your magazine. You need to have this charged. Put your magazine in, connect the app to your phone, have that on the target, and then this will help you do a reset. It resets the trigger every time. So you can walk around the house, shooting the AR, and it shoots a laser. And so you're not shooting any real ammunition, but it lets you train in the house, which is really cool. Really cool system, really cool company. Very pro 2A, really good in this space. So really like that. And we are about to unbox our last true product for the day. And it is sort of similar to that, but not quite. A very similar company to Mantis. It's called Strikeman. They have something, I'm not sure if Mantis has or not. I really didn't check too much. But what I thought was really cool about this Strikeman here. So, expansion pack, 2 targets included. So here's 2 extra targets. Not bad. And here's the actual Strikeman. Let's check this out. Alright. So, laser training system. Not bad. Not bad. You have basic target you can set up. When the app is looking at it, it's reading these 4 corners. So when the laser hits it, it's going to pick that up and be able to tell you exactly where you hit and where you would be shooting. So that's really cool. Get a phone tripod setup system so you could set that up. Looks like a spot you could put another target if you wanted. Put all this to the side. And this is what I wanted y'all to see. I could be training with a 12 gauge. So that is awesome. This is a laser that you would take apart, put batteries in. So looks like that takes quite a few batteries. And it shoots a laser, but it shoots it. This is supposed to be, the Strikeman 12 gauge. That is awesome that they have that. I'm going to assume we're going to put plus side up on these batteries. And I'm not sure if it takes 3 or all 6. It looks like it could be 3, and then it gives you an extra 3, which would be nice. Yeah, I think it's just the 3. I hope. All right, that's in. And I may be stupid again. I should be shooting a laser, but there may be a different way to put these batteries in. Oh, that could be slightly a problem. One of the batteries right here is corroded, and this one's a little corroded. That one's not corroded, so we have 2 of those batteries were corroded out of the box. It's not a good sign. That one's corroded. Yeah, these all have a little bit of corrosion on the end. Don't love that. Hey, how's it going, Michael? Let's see if we can twist that. I'll try to figure this out later. It looks like there's too much corrosion. I'm not sure if you can fully see here. But there's corrosion on the back of these batteries. And this is a new set. That is crazy. I've never had that issue with the company sending out batteries that were already corroded. So, sort of a strike on Strikeman there. Still excited for the product, though, itself. Having a laser Strikeman 12 gauge, that seems really cool. Really looking forward to testing all this out. Just need to figure out exactly what all needs to be done to make that happen. All right. let's just talk about some things we can see on the table now. Let's. Oh, I grabbed the wrong phone. I need to leave this one. I need to grab the phone that's streaming. Makes sense. All right. Here we go, guys. So, one of the products we looked at earlier today. This is from Olight. Nice and strong. Not a bad option. This is who I wish would sponsor me. It's called Fairlife. They have some pretty good macros on their chocolate milk. Not too shabby. We have a safe there and a few freedom sticks in the back. You got the quick strike there. Anybody have any questions in the chat while I have a little bit of chocolate milk? I'll just start talking if no one's gonna ask any questions. I'm fine with that. Doing some freestyling here. The bottom middle. Are you talking about the little one? That little guy? I'm not allowed to touch any of them. The last string got cut whenever I was finally booming. But that's a little 25 ACP, the one in the front. That's going to be right of the little guy. Okay, this guy. That is one of my favorite guns. This is my Woods gun. So that's a Glock 20. That's going to be chambered in 10 mil. And 10 mil, especially in Arkansas, is good for any of the game that we have out here. We don't have too much, we have a few mountain lions, some little black bear. I have a phantom trigger. Every time I zoom in, it stops. But I have the phantom trigger on that one. Love phantom triggers. Gives it that's the one thing I don't like about Glock is the trigger. Seems okay. It's not good. It's not great. I'd prefer to have a little bit better of a trigger. So I put the phantom in there, and it became one of my favorite guns. Still has a little bit of kick being that 10 mil, but it's so heavy that it actually handles pretty dang well. Pretty compact. So if I'm hunting or if I'm going out in the woods, easy to throw on me, keep it on me. I sometimes, conceal carry isn't really necessary for a woods gun because you want it to be as quick as possible. I really, if I'm out in the public, I like to conceal carry. I do have my conceal carry in Arkansas. Now you don't need it, but I do have it. And then if I'm in the woods, I like to open carry, just have the fastest reaction time. We've actually had some bear attacks in Arkansas, which is pretty interesting. We only have black bear down here, so don't think that you'd get many bear attacks, but we've had 2 bear attacks in the past 2 months, and it's like, man, when I'm in the woods, I'd like to have that Glock. This is the Canic. This is growing on me very fast. That is the TP9. It's one of my favorites. Shoots flat, no issues with it. I've been a big Glock fanboy, but that one's been good. What do you think about the revolver 357 or 44 or 500? Yeah, I mean, all beautiful guns. I've shot the Smith & Wesson 500 once. It kicks my butt a little bit. It's a powerful round. I would personally and a 44 Magnum or even a 357 Magnum or a 500. those are going to be bigger, more powerful, more stopping power. But like for a woods gun, for instance, you get 6 shots in a revolver, and that woods gun I get 15 shots and still have quite a bit of knockdown power. So I could see why people would have a 44 Magnum or a 500 for bear defense because it does have more power. But 6 shots, you gotta hit your shots, and I mean I think I'm an okay shot, but I'd rather have 15. I'm you know, as it's charging you, spray and pray. Um, Upright Tactical, what's up, brother? Where in Arkansas do you live? I have family in Hot Springs. Yeah, Hot Springs is beautiful. I live in Central, so I'm in like Conway area, but Hot Springs, one of the most beautiful spots in Arkansas. There's Hot Springs, beautiful, Heber Springs, beautiful, and then a few places, in Ponca and stuff. A lot of beautiful spots in Arkansas, but those are some of my favorites right there. So, Paul, what would your number one bear defense gun be if you just had to pick one? What do you trust in your life with? We're either giving him a second to. Okay, here we go. Yeah, yeah, the Remington 700, 300 Win Mag. Yeah, that'll do it. That'll do it. The let's see here. Out of these right here, anyone have any questions about any of these guys right there? We can zoom in, but I cannot touch anything. Don't want to get YouTube mad at me again. We got the Shadow Systems here. We got the SIG 365 there. That's a TARS. Okay, we got someone talking about the Bodyguard. And that is right here. And this is a pretty unique little gun. It's chambered in 380, so it's a little bit smaller. The gun's one of the smallest ones that I own. It feels like it could be a pocket carry, but I would still trust that one. It's like one of the smallest guns that I would still trust with my life. Um, but that's you know it's a cool gun. I would recommend it. A lot of people say it's too small for an EDC. I don't fully agree. I think if you feel comfortable with that gun and you know how to operate it, that's a perfectly fine EDC. Most accidents happen within 7 yards. You could hit within 7 yards with that, and trust me, a 380 is still gonna hurt. So I have nothing wrong with the. I like the Smith and Wesson 2.0 quite a bit. Don't see anything wrong with it. A lot of people still would prefer. That's a Glock 43X. That's a real popular option, and then that's the SIG 365. So those are the three that I would recommend. Out of them would be the Bodyguard, the SIG 365, or the Glock 43X as EDCs. But yeah, let's see. One of the new ones that I just got in is that one right there. It's called the Platypus. So it's a 1911 frame. They call it a 2011 because it takes 9 millimeter, and it takes Glock mags. Alex Stone, these are not fake. We're not allowed to touch them because of YouTube's algorithm, but I have some videos posted where you can see any one of these in action. All of these have at least a short or something posted where we've at least seen them in action and what they can accomplish. Nice. Get your protein goals in, guys. Pick up some Fairlife. 50% less sugar, more protein. Don't know how they do it. Lactose free. Pretty good stuff. Man, I wish I was sponsored by Fairlife. That would. I have some. I'm gonna set those up for a different live. They're all scattered around the house, and I don't want to run around the messy house here. I don't have many though. I wouldn't trust any of those with my life, man. Any out of all of these right here, you wouldn't trust any of them. Let's let's go through right here. We have a Shadow Systems DR920P. Pretty much. So I don't work at a gun store. I do a little bit of marketing for that gun box company right there. So I'm their affiliate marketing manager. So I work with this company quite a bit. So do a lot like that. I would trust the Shadow Systems. Have had it for a long time. Would trust that one with my life. The 1911s are a little bit finicky. Um, Honestly, if I was actually like in the woods trusting it with my life, the Glock 20, I have not had anything make this gun jam. I've had no issues, and a 10 mil can knock pretty much anything down. Self defense wise, it's a little bit overkill for, like an EDC. You got to watch out for that going through, and hitting someone else. But I'll trust that one with my life. Let's see what else. Yeah, Shadow Systems. You carry the CR920 every day. I was going to say Shadow Systems. I would trust them with my life. Great guns. That guy's probably just a little bit more of a hater, saying he wouldn't trust them. When you move out, you want to get a basic gun for self-defense. What to buy? So the G19 is great. G17, that's basically a fancy G17. That's great. A lot of people have been leaning towards the SIG 365. I don't love the way the trigger feels. A lot of people love this gun. I'm just not a fan of the SIG. I personally would go with either a G19 or the 43X. That's my 43X. The main reason I went with it, I'm a bigger guy. That's a little easier to conceal, so I liked it a little bit more. Uh, fit fit on my body a lot easier than the 19. Some people I hear carry the 43X for the summer because it's easier to conceal, and then they'll carry the G19 in the winter because you have more clothing and it's not hard to put that on. And same for some people in the summer, they'll take that little guy, which is the Smith and Wesson Bodyguard 2.0, and it is tiny. You could fit that in your pocket. I've never pocket carried myself, but if I ever did pocket carry, it has a safety. I wouldn't mind pocket carrying that right there. Anything besides a P320, lol. Yeah, I wouldn't use a 320 myself. This box is spring activated, so if I put my everyday carry in a spring activated box, that thing pops up, shoots a hole through my floor. I will not be happy. Have a hole in my truck, so definitely wouldn't trust that. Would definitely the platypus. That's like a competition shooting gun. Sort of on the lower end of competition shooting, but on the higher end of just hobby guns. Uh, I like shooting that a lot. Shoots great. I just want to get a little bit more familiar with it. Haven't got to shoot it enough. The Canic, the TP9, great gun. I need to get some more Canics. I'm not sure which one I want. They came out with the new TTI Combat. That's like the tactical version, and those look pretty cool. For an older looking gun, that right there, it's based off the Beretta 92. but the that is the Taurus 92, and it's pretty much a Beretta clone. That actually shoots great. Probably gonna get rid of it soon, but great gun there. Let's see. Are any of these guns basic rounds 9mm? Well, let's go through. So this is the Taurus PT92. That's gonna be 9mm. Right here we have the Ruger SR 1911. That's gonna be in 45 ACP. Um, I'm gonna get to that in 1 second. Now, this right here is a 9mm. That's the SIG 365 Shadow System 9mm. The Ruger right there, 22 long rifle. This little Italian gun, 25 ACP. That Glock 20, 10mm. We have 380 for the bodyguard, 9mm for that Canic, 9mm for that, and 9mm for that. And that was the Platypus and the Glock 43. Let me go back to some other questions here. Any issues with the Turkish handguns? You've heard mixed reviews. So I had a Canic before this, the Combat, and it worked great. Loved the Canic Combat, TTI Combat from Terran Tactical as well. But this guy I got used, and it had a little bit of extra stuff. I think added like the blue, I believe, added a little bit more like balancing weight. And this thing shoots like a dream. I absolutely love it. I haven't had any issues with my Canics yet. I've heard mixed reviews about sometimes the striker getting a little bit light and you need to replace a spring. But yeah, let me see here. Nice airsoft guns. Why don't you sell them and buy some real guns? If you look at the channel, I have quite a few videos of these shooting a little farther than an airsoft gun. By the way, yeah, I agree. It's, not great to, hang up the guns like this. I pretty much put the guns like this just for live streams, so they're not there for long terms of time. But if I'm making a video or if I'm making a live stream, I like to have some background engagement. So, you know, that's why I have those lined up like that. Alex Stone says, I like the platypus name. It's actually funny. So that's called the platypus, and it's a 2011. But if you go to the platypus website, they actually have a setup design that has the colors from like Phineas and Ferb, where it's set up to look like Perry. It has like that green and the orange, and they call it what do they call it? Perry V. The name of the gun that they sell is called Perry V. So you're buying Perry V, and the gun's called Platypus. So it's Perry V Platypus. And what I want to do is get an optic that looks a little bit brown, and then have someone be like a platypus, and then put the little brown optic on, acting like it's the hat. I'll be like, Perry the Platypus. That's the plan if I could ever get a collaboration going with Platypus. I've reached out to him when I was really, really small, and they said no. Then I reached out to him when I was mid-size, and they said no. Then I reached out to him as I'm also mid-size, and they still said no. So they don't love me yet, but I will win their love one day and have them send me a platypus, or not just a platypus, the Perry V platypus. That's my everyday carry right there. That's going to be the G43. We have a string light on that, and then TP9, bodyguard, flashlight, quick strike. Nice. All right, any more questions about anything we have on this table or any of the products that we went over? While you think of some, I'm gonna finish off. This is almost out. I should have brought more than one. I think I'm actually out in the kitchen too. Sad day. Officially out of the chocolate milk. Did you figure out what that TI thing? Are you talking about that just that bar that we were looking at? Like so I looked it up and well actually I didn't look it up. I saw their manual and they said, "Hey, this bar is a really good like pry bar or pop bar or so it's literally used as just a pry tool." Is literally all it is and it's like that's sort of cool, having a titanium, pry tool, but it's not something that I would go and buy myself. Um, it's probably going to end up in a junk drawer. So, huh? I just had something say another moderator just handled this. Um, I have no idea I had moderators on this. Well, uh, who's moderating this? Out of curiosity. That is in a different language. Well, he could be moderating this chat. So, um, I guess thank you to whoever is moderating this channel. Um, I I didn't know that was a thing. Maybe one of the maybe it's an auto moderator or something. I just had something say someone took a comment down, and I don't know who has the power to take some comments down. Uh, but I appreciate it. Something we haven't talked about yet. That right there is going to be some really good cleaner and oil. It's called Shooter Lube. Pretty sure they're based in America as well. Everyone needs at least one 1911 if they're building just a build out collection. So that's the 1911 there. I don't see any blue wrenches. Dang, nope. I don't know much about the those 45s myself, the 1911s you're talking about. I I don't want to give any advice on a gun that I haven't actually shot, and I haven't actually shot near as many guns as I should for hosting some gun lives. But that's something I'll test out soon. The arrow precision lower. What's the upper? So that's up to you. Between buying those upper and lower. Just for YouTube, I'm not selling anything. YouTube, I'm just talking to him about his decision here. They shut me down last time for something. I still don't know what. But the lower for sure, you can't go wrong. Don't know, haven't really shot too much of the upper there, but yeah. The I would honestly, just do a little bit of research, watch a few review videos, see what you think, and then go with your heart. Any 5.7, I don't at the time. I know Ruger has some really good at the time. So I'd probably get a Ruger 5.7 to put into this guy. That's the Quick Strike. It's a box you put in your car so you can have quick access. If I ever do, get a 5.7, it would be just to put into here. And then, yeah. Well, let's see. Jess, I'm not gonna lie to you, Jess. I don't know too much about rifles. I mainly have handguns. Mainly do stuff for like EDC and stuff with the quick strike. So I don't want to give you any advice and it just be some crappy advice. But the Ruger 57 is tough. Yeah, no, that's and for some reason I've been seeing those go on some crazy sales here and there where I'm not sure if they have, overstock or what. Another moderator just handled this. Who is this other moderator, guys? I am curious. Why is it holding so many messages? Why is it holding all the messages for like review? It does not trust you guys at all. I'm clicking show, but it's saying another moderator handled this. I believe it's the 7 on the 43X. Every time I zoom in, it stops. Yeah, but the Nathan, that's the 43. Yeah, the 43X. Got the basic Streamlight on there, and it's a dream. You can't really tell. I have a Wilson Combat trigger, and then I have a case that has good retention on it right there. I'll show a full video of me with the case, but it has really good retention on that. Feels really good. One of my favorite EDC setups I've ever had. So happy there. Nice. Yeah, the 43X, man, that's a hard one to beat. You know. Nice. Nice. Where'd you get the ported barrel from? See, the ghost ring sights, that's that's a hard one. Nathan, you see it? Yeah, that's a hard one for me to get behind. I've never been good with the ghost ring. I know it's all a preference, you know. Um, I got them eBay. Oh, nice. Jess, you said, do you have any 10 mil? I do. Right now, it is only this guy right here. That's the Glock 20 and 10 mil. That's what I use as my woods gun. And hey, how's it going, man? Hello, or Ganol. Hello, Ganol. But yeah, that's the 10 mil, and it's shoots like a dream. It's got the phantom trigger in it. The only upgrade I typically like have to do for a Glock, I don't have to, but I typically like to do for a Glock, get a better trigger in there. And yeah, that's been one of the best ones I've had. I'm not sure if there's actually another moderator in here or it's just saying that. I've actually never used a staccato. I'm not a rich guy. I wish I had a staccato. I reached out to Staccato and said, "Hey, do you want to send a gun to sponsor the channel?" And they're like, "We'll give you, 10% off or something like that." And I'm like, "Man, even for Staccato to give me 10% off, that's way too much money for me to spend on a gun." So I had to, you know, uh, go down a little bit on my expectations and dreams and not get the Staccato. Yeah, Staccato's really nice, but I can't I can't afford a staccato, not at this time. Oh yeah. I mean I agree. I wouldn't mind carrying a stock Glock. I've done it for years. But once you put a new trigger in a Glock, man, those they become really good. Pretty much, you got the dependability plus a nice crisp trigger. Um the M9A4, honestly I don't know enough about it to give you an honest opinion. I'm sorry about that, Busy Bee. So the 43 G43X, I believe it's a Wilson Combat. I actually got this on a trade from a cop, and he said he put a Wilson Combat trigger in there, and it felt pretty good when I shot it. Honestly, I'm not sure if they have these. I went to, I think I went to Rock Your Glock for the Phantom trigger. I'm not sure if they have one for the 43X, but if they do, the Phantom trigger's really cool. Um, Heard a lot of really good things about Timney triggers. I've had one of those in the past. Didn't get to shoot it though because I traded the gun before I actually got one, so that was sad. I got it all set up and then left it, but they, have a, Christian message in there, which is sort of cool. So it depends on the trigger. Some of them are complete, where you pretty much could just take out the old one and put in the new one, and it's all one setup. And then some of them you have to do a little bit of work, but they got a lot of YouTube videos out there where you could figure all that out and do pretty much step by step. Or worst case scenario, you could go to a gunsmith. You probably have a local gunsmith at one of your pawn shops or shooting ranges. They typically have a local gunsmith they can recommend you, and they typically charge like $40 to $50 an hour, and it'll probably take them 20 minutes. So you're looking at probably like 20 to 30 bucks to have someone professional do it for you. Okay, Jess just got that JG Vex trigger on the 43X. Went ahead and went straight to the red Loctite. Let me see. What's the gun with the blue mag? So that is going to be the TP9, and it's a Canic. Shoots great. It has that flare at the end, that mag flare. That's aftermarket. That trigger looks aftermarket. A lot of these I get in trades, so they tell me what the mods are, but sometimes I forget exactly the names. But I'm a huge Glock guy, but I'm starting to become a Canic guy. I'm still gonna always be a Glock guy, but I may make some room right next to my Glock love and start putting some Canic love because I've shot a few of their stuff lately, and it's been good stuff. The reason you asked, when I got my first handgun, I'm a 45, 1911. I cleaned it the best I can. 30 years old. Nice. Yeah. You can do it a historical piece and just keep it as a keepsake, or if it shoots, you can still shoot it. Those things last a long time. You keep them updated and clean; they'll last forever. Do you like FN and HK? So yeah, both great. I mean, they have great guns. Again, they're a little bit more pricey. You pay a little bit for the name. Great guns, great quality. You're paying a little bit for the name, which is something I don't have just a ton of money laying around. So I don't have too many, or I don't have any right now. I had a HK, the UP or USP or whatever it was, for a little bit. Shot it for a while, and then actually traded it partially in a trade for that guy. So I don't have it anymore. But great guns. That is, Jess, you're 100% correct there. Canic gives you a good trigger out of the box. And that is something that I wish, if Glock just gave you a slightly better trigger, I think they would be hands down superior in every aspect. But they don't. And it's like, Glock, why can't you just give us a good trigger out of the box? I mean, it would not be that much more expensive. People would pay $50 more for them to mass produce and put a better trigger system in than they typically just come stock. You thought it was the new M&P 9 spec series. V, don't know. I really don't know much about that, but I could say M&P, great. Thoughts on Beretta? Um, I used to have a Beretta 92 that was blacked out and looked a lot like that. This is the Taurus 92 or the PT 92, and it actually was made in the same factory. They like bought that factory out after. So this one's about half the price because it's not Beretta, but I found it pretty reliable and dependable. There wasn't enough difference between this and the Beretta for me to keep the Beretta, but a lot of the Berettas that I shot were sort of like this style, and bigger, clunkier. Great, dependable guns. They have their purpose. They have their use. But I, if I'm having a big gun like that, I'd rather it be more of a 1911. For my big, bulkier, heavy guns, make it a 1911 and keep typically smaller, like the 43X. I say that the Canics are also really big, clunky guns, but they just have that modern feel and technology going on them. I'm leaning more towards the Canic these days, but I have nothing against Beretta. Great company. So let me zoom back out a little bit. And if you haven't seen any videos about that box right there, that's the Quick Strike. That just pops up while you're in your car. You'll have quick access to your sidearm, while you're driving down the road, stopped at in traffic, someone comes up to your window, have that quick access. And I would typically have that inside. Little 9mm has a tactical flashlight at the top. This is one that's going to become a staple on the channel until, they send me something, if Platypus ever sends me the Perry the Platypus, I'll get rid of this one in a second. But until that happens, this is my probably go-to gun on the channel for now. Again, it's the 2011, so it looks like a 1911, takes 9mm, and it takes Glock mags. So it uses the same mags as that guy. So this guy and that guy will probably be in a lot more videos just because of that. And I'll probably still put this guy in the mix. What is that Beretta model? That's gorgeous. So this is my Beretta clone. It's got that nice wood handle. And yeah, it looks like the Beretta 92. This is the Taurus PT 92. One of my, prettier looking guns for sure, while still being one of my cheaper guns for sure. But yeah, beautiful, beautiful guy there. One we haven't talked too much about is this Mark IV. And the Mark IVs, guys, are just excellent guns. It's from Ruger. It's a 22 long rifle, and it's a great plinking gun. They have different competition levels, different just around the house levels, but great, great gun there. Thinking about buying my first pistol, but I'm not really a gun guy. So, like, should I go out and buy SAS 2 tac or go with that M&P 9? Um, Honestly, what I would do is find a gun range that would let you actually go before you buy. Test. I think you normally have to buy, a box of ammo, but test out 3 or 4. So take those two to the range, shoot them, and then maybe try 1 or 2 different Glocks. I'd suggest the Glock 19 and the 43X. See how those feel, and then maybe like 2 or 3 other guns. Just try out a handful, and see what feels the best for you. Because, the gun that works best for you is going to be the gun that you like shooting, you're comfortable shooting, and you want to practice with. So whether that be, you know, a Glock or anything else, you just want it to feel comfortable to you. You want to know how to manipulate that piece. And yeah, let me know what you get though. I'm pretty interested to see, what comes out on top. Yeah, there's a lot of really good Beretta clones out there. I just started working with probably gonna say this wrong, Dira Tactical, and they have a gun that looks very similar. Because it's a clone. Clones look similar, but very similar to that guy. And I'm like, oh man, it's a Turkish company. I'm telling you, there's a lot of Turkish companies popping up, and they're probably all using the same factory and just branding their, things different. But a lot of really decent things are coming from Turkey, so I'm not mad about it. I can't say that on YouTube Live, Team Quack Attack. I don't think YouTube would like that, but good idea. I'll have to check out that company there, the Liberator, and see what they got. Yeah, that sounds good. I really like the FN57, but the ammo. Oh yeah, that is the reason I don't get any AKs. Is because the AKs look really cool, but ammo for the AKs keep going up and up. And then, like you just said, the 5.7, that ammo is expensive. They look so cool though. The 5.7s, they look like great guns, but it's just expensive on the upkeep and then or keep it up with ammo. And if you have a gun, you want to shoot your gun. So I feel you there. So I just got a decked system. Yeah, that they're all these companies in Turkey are just popping out some really good products, and so many of them. You were sold on the Sig, then the Hellcat 365 macro, 4SX or SX, and then Glock 48. Bought a Glock, haha. Which did you buy the Glock 48? Is that the one you got? Let's figure out which Glock you got. And then I did just get the new deck system where yeah, the 48. Yeah, my friend swears by the 48. He's probably the most tactical guy I know. He uses the 48 religiously, loves that single stack. Great dependable gun. It's honestly slept on. I've shot the Glock 19, a competition 1911, a Glock 2 or 20. Liked the 1911. Glocks didn't feel great, but didn't feel bad either. Yeah, that's it depends. I think it depends, sort of like phones. If you first got an iPhone, you like iPhones. If you first got an Android, you like Android. I feel like it's the first gun you like really get used to. And for me, my first gun that I really got used to was a Glock. The simplicity of a Glock was what drew me to it. So yeah, I think that's part of the reason for a lot of it. It's just you get used to different things, and I got used to the Glock right off the bat. You have a ton of rounds through it, and yeah, and like it. Yeah, I was about to say Glock 48. I have the 43. They're very similar in size, but the 48 great tactical option. Really easy to conceal. People like the single stack just because they say less chances of jams. So great option. Yeah, 48's awesome. This one here's the platypus. We'll get more into it later on the channel. Glock 20, Bodyguard 2.0, Canic TP9, Sig 365, Shadow System. And then we have those right there. 1911. Some stuff we haven't looked at yet. Whoop. Oops, we zoomed in too much. Fork and knives. Really big fan of CRKT. Most of those right there are going to be CRKT. You have a karambit style, and then two just EDCs. And then that fixed blade in the back is actually from TCal. So that's a pretty cool option there. And, oh. How do I... Well, I'm just zooming in. Alright. Let's see if I can put this back. So for this safe here, there's a key spot. We have some keys. Nice. Wish I had some batteries for this guy. Alright, so I'm not sure, did any of y'all see my last live where I had a chessboard and I was making that with 9mm shell? It's just like each shell, I would put it together and I was making a chess set. Did any of y'all get to see that? Because I'm thinking about going into the garage and letting y'all see that guy. You just bought a new high point. Okay, what type of high point did you get? Did you get the yeet cannon or one of the 10 mils? Gonna run through the house real quick. I wanted to show y'all something in the garage. Garage is a little bit messy, so no judgment here. Alright, two things I was going to show real quick. And the first is this guy. No, just got subbed today. Hey, well, don't worry. This is what we did last time. And we took basically a butt ton of these right here, just some shells that we used on the channel, and we took a hot glue gun, and with the hot glue gun we would glue and put one down like that and glued all of these down. It took us about 3 hours to get all of this glued down, but we have it. So the next steps here, this is all in place. This all looks like a chessboard. We have all the ammo in order. We're gonna have to put a board here, seal this up, and then we're gonna pour some of that resin all over the top. So it'll have a nice hard top where that's gonna be flat, and then we're gonna be able to use some different pieces there. So right now this is all glued down. We're gonna add one more board, pour the resin, and we will have a full chessboard. Now, I don't shoot enough to do too many other projects. This was like 3 months worth of shooting just to get this much ammo for this. And I'm gonna put this in the corner so y'all can see something. This is how big it is on a ping pong table. Ideally, I would be able to build this thing over the entire ping pong table and have a ping pong table that is completely made of shells like that. So it would have my casings all right here, but instead of it being this size, it'd be the entire size of the ping pong table, all being this right here. So that's a little bit optimistic if I'd ever get that many shells. It would probably take me, 2 to 3 years just to get enough shells to do a ping pong table, but that it would also be so heavy. I would have to have so many supports underneath this because it would be the table, it would be all the shells. The shells themselves are heavy, like that's pretty heavy. But then you pour resin on that, and you fill in all of this with resin, and it's going to be extremely heavy. Yeah, no, I'll definitely have to custom. You're 100% right. I'd have to customize the legs because the legs on this guy, they're actually not terrible, but they're not suitable for what I'm thinking. I did just get the deck system for my truck, which is pretty cool. And I'm gonna open up the garage and show y'all what that looks like because I'm really excited about. Here's a whiteboard. Should I use a whiteboard in one of my lives? Thinking about it. Okay. So that's opening up there. That's the old chessboard. I can't wait to get that done. I need to order some resin. Probably just gonna go off Amazon or something and get that done. This is the Tacoma. And I'm not sure if y'all have ever seen these right here. This is a deck system. So whenever I'm going to the range or something like that, what I can do is take this drawer, pull it out, and I could fill that up with all the cases and ammo and everything I need. All goes in this outside drawer. There's a little bit of side storage as well here. So you have a deep pocket, short pocket. You have that on both sides. That goes down. And when you want to, store everything in here, you have, everything I do for the range, I'm going to throw into that drawer when I'm done. Push it in. That's going to close. Then I close the tailgate. Now, the cool part is you're like, hey, that's a lot of expensive stuff. Why would you keep it in there? You can lock up the tailgate and they're not opening that drawer. So, yeah. And good for groceries. Yeah, when it's empty, fill that bad boy up with groceries. But this is my passion project. Watching that soon. And then this is the last thing I'm probably going to go over before I go ahead and call it for the night. This right here is a stop box, but this is one that we've abused, one that we've hit, one that we've attacked. I would do that right now, but it's really late and all my neighbors are asleep. So I'm going to be respectful there. But you can see the attack marks all through this guy. I mean, we have abused it. And we push down here with here. Open her up. And you could put a compact unit in there. That locks it. To unlock it, if you wanted to have access to your sidearm quick, push down, open. No batteries in that. Very secure. Kids can't get in this. I have a video posted where I put candy in here and hit it to a kid with his parents' supervision, of course, and said, hey, you could have the candy if you could break into this box. He was unable to break into it. Then I gave it to one of my friends, 2 or 3 of them. They were using tools, and they still couldn't break into it with like screwdrivers or basic tools around the house. So those are pretty quality. I know a lot of people say that's plastic, that's not going to last. Those things are going to last, especially be kid-proof, which is pretty much what they're used for. That is about 2 hours of rambling, guys. If you made it this far, go ahead and drop a like. It really does help the channel grow. I appreciate you coming here. If you want to learn more about guns, want to see some more guns in action, want to see some of these projects, think about subscribing. I got a lot of content up and got a lot more coming. I appreciate y'all being on here with me for the night. And I'll see y'all guys hopefully in about 2 or 3 days. I plan to do at least one live a week. So if you have any ideas of what I should do for the live streams, I've been thinking about a few different things. Maybe having 1 or 2 people on, maybe talking to a couple different guys about different things. But let me know what y'all want to see. Excited to start making some content for you. And I'll talk to you guys later. Have a good one, guys.